Hello friends, and welcome to the Hanged Man in the Moon. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm pleased to meet you. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. I'm truly honored. Friends, if you are a returning visitor, you know that this is my mini-series in which I'm doing a deep dive into a beautiful, expansive, challenging deck called the Tarot of the Holy Light by Christine Payne-Towler. And this is a deck that is very different from the kinds of decks that I was raised on and that I practiced on for years, practiced with for years. I'm a Golden Dawn baby, whether I know it or not, whether I knew it or not. I know it now. I learned on the RWS, the Smith-Coleman deck, and I added on the Thoth deck, the Harris-Crowley decks, and all of the iterations and the modern abundance of decks, the cornucopia of possible decks that we can work with. All this beauty and creativity that's fermenting around us now. It's beautiful. And this deck is also beautiful, but it's different. This is a deck based on the continental tarot system and the esoterica and the occult wisdom that gathered around the tarot as it developed on the continent, particularly in Italy, France, and Spain, before the Golden Dawn. So this deck is a modern creation, but it's based on this long, deep tradition. And so what do? I pull one card every day, and that's my card of the day. And I look at the card and I acknowledge the thoughts, the memories, the meanings, the keywords that I have floating around in my mind associated with this card in other systems. And I do that consciously so that I can try to disengage those keywords. I can try to detangle my memories from the deck and the image that I'm confronting at that time. And when I say confronting, I don't mean I'm confronting. It's not it's a meeting, right? And so to help me unpack that meeting, I draw 3 cards from an RWS deck, a deck that I am very comfortable and reading and is very easy for me to see. So I do a 3-card spread. Significance of the daily draw card, obstacle, advice. Very simple card spread. And then I live my day. At the end of the day, I pull out my beautiful guidebook by Christine Payne-Towler, and I look at the meanings as she intended for the card that I have been sitting with for the day. And I see how those meanings, those ideas manifested for me or not. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm doing it a little bit earlier than I usually do today because today I am exhausted. I rested a little bit and I've gotten my second wind, I guess. I think I was dehydrated. I don't know if you can see how red my skin is, but my sunburn from yesterday made last night's sleeping not so deep and not so constant. So, and then I had to do some writing again, not writing again today. So I'm pretty wiped out. But I'm here because I want to be here and I want to explore this. And I'm going to be doing this a little bit more off the cuff than I have in the past. Because for one thing, the card that came up for me today is not a new meeting for me. We've seen this card twice before. It is the Page of Discs, but this time it came up in reverse. And this is a card that I find the image disturbing on. Not because the image is poorly drawn or that I don't even think the creator intends it to be disturbing, but it's just me, this brain, seeing this face gets disturbed. Especially, it's not even the entire face, it's the mouth that disturbs me. The mouth on this guy creeps me. I gotta say, it just creeps me out. And it's just my thing. On the other hand, things that creep a lot of people out, like the Deviant Moon deck, the Somnia Tarot. Doesn't phase me. No problems. I kind of think Deviant Moon is cute. I think the Somnia Tarot, if you've seen it, it's a beautiful, beautiful photograph. The only photographic deck that I really, really like. I'm not into photographic decks. Beautiful deck. But a lot of people are deeply disturbed by that deck. And I find it very beautifully staged theater. So maybe the problem is here. Rest of the card I love. It's the mouth on this guy that bothers me. But this isn't the first meeting I've had with this mouth on this guy, the mouth on this guy. I love the wing. I love the rest of the image of the guy. I mean, I love the wings. I love his body. I love the way the body has been drawn and colored. I love everything. It's the mouth. It's just the mouth. That gaping hole. And not one that interests me. So I got this card in reverse. So what did I think? I think I know that I'm very used to this deck to some extent, and I know that the pages are all the messengers and the workers for the queens of the deck. So I know that this page, as a discs page, is one who is out doing the work of the queen, doing the work in the material, doing the work of earth. And also, he's the page of winter. So there's a coldness there. There's a harshness, but with the seed planted beneath the ground and getting ready, doing the work underground for the spring. If we didn't have this, the spring wouldn't happen, right? So nothing against the page of the page of winter, the page of discs. So yeah, getting the work. So what would the reverse be? What would the reverse be? Not getting the work done? No, I don't think that's what it is. Maybe the harshness goes up a notch, perhaps. Maybe doing the internal work. Maybe this dragon now has the upper foot instead of the upper hand. Maybe this dragon licking the page's foot now has more power, which would be cool because Chinese zodiac, I'm a dragon. I'm a wood dragon, which would be green, actually greenish or blue. So that's an interesting thing. If you're curious, my signs are, in the Western astrology, I am a Leo sun, I am a Scorpio rising ascendant, and I am a Pisces moon, which I love that combination for myself. And in the East, I am a wood dragon. So the dragon is passionate, theatrical, and all of that, but the wood keeps the dragon more stable, more grounded, more rooted, right? And so, why did I venture off into Dragonland? Oh, because maybe the dragon has more power here, or is more not in control of the page, but maybe there's more of a power balance. Because the dragon looks really, really subservient here. Maybe the dragon's got more of an equal footing here. He's at the feet, the equal footing. Some things that were going through my mind. And so I pulled my 3 cards from the Lightseer's Tarot. And let me show you those cards right now. Like I said, this deck is easy for me to read. And it usually comes out in a very easy to read fashion. And I'm not saying it's simple, but it's easy to read. You know? And this series of cards made absolute sense right from the beginning. You know? We got the 2 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, and then the 6 of Wands. 2 Wands, sad cup in the middle. And so what did I think? Well, I thought, so this page, messenger, but maybe not as active, maybe not as in control, maybe not as in charge, maybe not as I don't know, maybe doing more internal work. Those are the things that were running around in my mind. So when this card came up, it made sense, because the significance of that is you're in a planning stage. You know? Look out the window, see what's there, see what's happening, what are the possibilities. Make choices where choices can be made. But this is the planning stage. This is where we get our ducks lined up so that we can make decisions of which ducks to choose. We've got a whole world of possibilities there. Yeah, most RWS decks show a globe here in the card for the Two of Wands, because there are so many possibilities that are there for us to choose from. And the figure in the Two of Wands is usually looking out in a vast landscape of possibilities, potential. And I love the way this figure is relaxed in doing that. Gazing out of a very large picture window with a beautiful, beautiful landscape out, not landscape so much, but beautiful, beautiful sky, the colors in the sky. It almost looks like there's a phoenix in the clouds to me. I love the lights strung inside. It's just a beautiful card. So planning, seeing what's out there. What are the possibilities? Getting ready to choose. The obstacle, easy obstacle for me to understand. It's not saying walk away. Sometimes when we walk away, that is an obstacle. We're so in the, if it doesn't serve me, let it go. Put it behind you. And there are times certainly to do that. There are times when, especially if that thing that is not serving you is a danger to us, then there's times to separate, to disengage and get the butt out of there. Certainly, that's not what I'm saying. But that has become the mantra for us, for so many of us, that, well, this isn't serving me, I'm going to leave. Without doing the work of really delving into what it is, of really exploring what it is, or exploring not necessarily only what it is, but what this is. Why is my reaction like this? Why am I not letting it serve me? What is my resistance to it being serviceable to me? We put so much of it on that without giving a deep introspection. That's the one word I'm looking for. Without doing the work of true introspection. We reflect that, oh, I'm uncomfortable, this isn't working for me, I'm going to leave. Which is what she's doing. She's set fire to whatever is not serving her and is walking away. And again, there are times to do that. There are definitely times to do that. But sometimes that is an obstacle to our development. And so, what was the suggestion? Allow that feeling of success. Allow the light to shine on us when it does, or shine it on ourselves. Not to stand out and be necessarily, get people's attention. We're not trying to be the show person necessarily as the advice, but we can be our own spotlight and stand in it and be our own audience and be our own applause givers and be the recipient of our own applause. If we don't notice other people applauding for us out there, we can do a lot of that work for ourselves. We can crown our own heads with our own laurels. And that doesn't mean the other thing that a lot of people talk about these days, the showing up award. Yeah? Oh, you did such a good job. You came and you tried. Good job. Well, there is some of that. There is some of that. But also that is whitewashing what is really there. It shows a lack of introspection, a lack of deep awareness of where I have done well and where I have not done well, and what I could improve on, what I could not improve on. Do you see what I'm getting at? It doesn't serve me, I'll walk away. I showed up, I get an award. So that's not what this spread is talking about. This spread of 3 cards is talking about really looking at what is possible out there. And there's a world of possibilities. Not walking away from what is right now just because it's uncomfortable and may not seem like it's right for me. If it's there is something right for me here to learn from, to grow from, to discover. And so I can celebrate that. I can celebrate my one being not walking away, doing the introspection, doing the work of looking and awareness. And that light of the spotlight, yeah, that is also the light of awareness. That we are standing in and saying, yes, I am here. And I am gloriously here. Not because I deserve an award for being here, but because we are all gloriously here. We are spirit, having human experiences. We are the divine. And what could be more praiseworthy than that? So I lived my day. And then let me get into the book. I'm not going to read too much of this because we've looked at this a couple times before. Just really briefly of the upright page with his gorgeous drum. Do you see the drum in his hand over here? His beautiful dragon. We got the moon down here at his feet. We got the sun up here at his head. Beautiful, harsh landscape, beautiful wings, beautiful card. Again, this was reversed. So, upright, just a couple things. One, this page declares that there is no more time to waste. One must act now, else lose the chance. His drumbeat demands that one speak now or forever hold your peace. Yeah, let's get things done. Get things done. You have something to say it now. Or let's get going. Right? I'm in large and in charge, which means something else. But anyways, works here too. However, there is that talk now or else shut up. There's that. But he knows that he's got the time. He's not panicked. He's not in a rush. He knows he has the time, but he doesn't want to waste the time that he has. The Page of Discs is historically the student of abundance. The person's attention is focused on learning the natural laws that pertain to increase, multiplication, compounding, and all forms of growth. Beautiful, beautiful meanings. Let's move right on to the reverse. So I'm going to read this straight through. When reversed, this page is often not taken seriously, which sours his attitude and causes him to feel rebellious and surly. Keep that in mind. He can lose track of what is practically possible. Keep that in mind. Creating unrealistic expectations that eventually come back to haunt him. This resulting unpredictable behavior gets him in trouble, period. In some packs, the page is shown chained to a trunk that overflows with coins. I'd like to see that deck. His punishment for being contentious or just too smart for his peers is to serve as a human guard dog over a castle treasure. In other contexts, this fellow has to hide his intelligence and possible high rank under the modesty of a joker, entertaining the court by juggling on the unicycle, keeping the discs aloft with his expert sleight of hand. In many of the royal courts of old, the court jester was the only person who could speak truth to power, though so often that truth was veiled in comedy and delivered obliquely. Nobody ultimately knows where the Page of Discs comes from or what his story is because he plays his cards so close to the vest, showing only the poker face, that laconic temperament of the natural gambler. Now, I'm not a natural gambler, but that might be pertinent today. And some of that was pertinent to this, right? Planning. Not perhaps showing all my cards. holding my cards to my chest while I'm planning. Also, maybe feeling a little bit disrespected, not taken seriously. So today was a fine day. Got lost again riding to school, but not as lost as the first day. It looks like that's my pattern. I get really lost the first time I try to find it. I've got a good sense of direction. It's trying to follow a map that I can't see. And anyways, that's a long story. Anyway, so my pattern seems to be I get really lost this first day. Coming back is not a problem. I get less lost the second day going. Coming back is even less of a problem. So the third time should be the charm. I'll get a kind of sense of maybe I'll make a couple of wrong turns and then I'll get right back on course. And then I'll finally start memorizing the course. I think I've selected the course that I want to go on. I think I know that now. Well, anyways, so I go to the other's campus and I get there about a half hour early. And so it was rainy today and I rinsed myself off, had a change of clothes, changed into those clothes, and went up to a faculty meeting. And we spent about 2 hours in a faculty meeting, and we talked about the possibility of maybe writing a book as a group. And I've had some input in there, and that's, I think, where I might have started to feel like I was not taken seriously, was not, what? Yeah, I didn't feel I did come off a little bit like the court jester when I came into the room, honestly. I kind of did play that going in because, I don't know, I just felt like I needed to, I guess. People said, you rode all the way, and I said, yeah, I made light of it. And another person said, oh, I saw you riding on your bike, and I said, oh, I'm sorry to have subjected you to that. I mean, I was playing the Joker, which is interesting. I do that sometimes, and I don't know why I felt the need to do it this time. I didn't feel like that was damaging to me in any way or damaging to other people in any way, but it was interesting how that matched that Page of Wands reversed. And so we talked about maybe writing a book, and then we talked about other stuff. And then after the meeting, we had lunch, and then after lunch, a couple of us went out for coffee and we talked more about the book. And I realized that I have definite ideas about perhaps writing a book if we do write a book. And I didn't want to talk about all of those ideas because I also knew that if I were to start laying out my plan, that there would be a negative reaction to it. And I think that was not the best course of action, especially at this time where we haven't even made decisions about, are we going to do it? Do we have the resources to do it? Do we have the time to do it? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we had a nice coffee. I rode my bike back. I stopped off at Burger King. I indulged myself. I do fast food once, maybe a month at the most, usually. Generally more often. I mean, I've gone a year or 2 years without any kind of fast food, but my one weakness is Burger King. And since I've been writing so hard, I decided to treat myself to Burger King for dinner tonight. So I went to Burger King, had myself a double Whopper with cheese and French fries, no soda, and not that that's important. And then I got home, and I was exhausted, like I said. And so I got myself ready. I took a shower, and then I sat down and I watched TV for about an hour and a half, and now I'm here. So long story short, yeah, I think this was accurate for me today. I think I wouldn't say I felt disrespected, but I also get the feeling that I'm not taken all that seriously, I don't feel like I am seen as a person with as much experience as I actually have. Yeah. And I don't feel disrespected so much as not appreciated as much as I think I might want to be. Try not to sound too much like a dissatisfied, bitchy person, but I feel like I'm not taken as, I'm not listened to as much as I think I might be well for people to listen to me. I'm not saying that I want to be Lord and Master, or that I am Lord and Master, or that I know everything. I'm not saying I know everything either, but I know some stuff. So this was in the realm of planning stuff, planning for next semester, planning for some other things that might be a little bit farther down the line. I think writing a book needs to be farther down the line than to be completed in one semester, because I've done some of that. I know it to do well. It takes more time than just like 3 months, especially if you're collaborating to do it. So anyways, things like that. But I didn't want to just like well, I'm done with this. I don't want to do that. I want to be present to what is happening. And even if it doesn't feel like I'm being completely served, I want to be present with that, right? And I want to do this for myself. I don't want to say, hey, look at me, put the spotlight on me. I don't want to be that person. But I do want to stand up and acknowledge my own experience, my own knowledge, my own worthiness for myself. And so I think I am doing that today. And I also had fun. I didn't feel like I hope I'm not giving the impression that I felt like I was disrespected, or that people weren't paying attention to me, or I'm having a little pity party here for myself. I'm not feeling pitiful. I am feeling pitiful about myself because I'm just so tired. Because riding the bike drained me a lot, and I think I got a little bit dehydrated, and I'm a little bit of a pity party for myself for that. But for the experience in the faculty meeting and the little informal meeting between like 4 of us after the larger meeting, I'm not having a pity party, but I had fun with some of that. And the idea of writing a book that maybe we wouldn't change every 2 years, that we could continue working on and improving, is interesting to me, and could be a learning experience for me. And I think I have things to contribute. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's what I am. That's where I am. And I think this card was clarifying for me, gave me clarity for today, which I am deeply appreciative of. What do you think? Friends, if you're still here, hit the thumbs up button so that YouTube knows that you enjoyed it and other people might enjoy it as well. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, because starting Friday, after Friday, I'm not going to be doing daily videos, and you want to know when I get those uploaded, and so hit the alarm bell. And a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I really would love to hear from you. If you want a private reading from me, my email address is below. Send me an email. We'll work out whatever kind of reading you want, almost about whatever you want. There are a couple things I won't read on because I don't think I have the expertise, or I am qualified to read about some things, but almost everything else, we can work something out. And friends, now, as always, I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. Thank you.